Hello, my name is Stephen Hatsigi. Today I'll be discussing the article titled A Path Model of Workplace Solidarity, Satisfaction, Burnout, and Motivation. This comes from the International Journal of Business Communication, and it was written by Patrick McDonald, Stephanie Kelly, and Scott Christian. The purpose of the study was to look at the relationships between supervisor and subordinate in their interpersonal communication, specifically their closeness and formality as it relates to burnout, motivation, job satisfaction. As it pertains to the literature, I feel as though it's quite extensive. They use multiple sources. They define things like satisfaction, job satisfaction. They define motivation and burnout, and also interpersonal solidarity. So, it kind of gave you an idea of exactly what you were reading and understanding it better. They also applied various scales of quantitative measurements throughout, which added legitimacy to the research, I believe. I believe the authors positioned themselves really well within the research proposal. And after reviewing the sources, I did conclude that the scholarly sources were provided. The methods they used, they used survey research. They used a hyperlink on Facebook. The researchers posted on their Facebook and had people click on it to go to the consent form. There, they were able to gather about 343 participants for the study from multiple occupations. The occupations kind of varied from sales to skilled labor, clerical, professional management, educational, transportation, factory, and then a small amount of non-farmer labor. The average age of the participants were about 27 years old, and they all had about 3 years experience in the profession in which they were describing. And then to break it up, and some of them were currently in the position they spoke of, and some of them spoke of past experiences. 54.8% referred to past experiences with their supervisor relationship, and 45.2% referred to their current situation. The study ultimately found that solidarity within the relationship is controlled by the supervisor. It furthered the understanding within organizational communication. It showed that the closeness and solidarity between supervisor and subordinate causes more of a positive relationship in the workplace. So the closer we are to our supervisor, because of the supervisor's efforts to become close to their subordinates, allowed for there to be less burnout, more motivation, and more job satisfaction within their industry. I think this is beneficial because it helps us show, what's important in the workplace. We all have jobs. We all have different roles in our jobs. We may be the boss. We may be a subordinate to someone else. It allows us to see what's important in the workplace, and that those relationships are what it is. So, working hard is important, having great work ethic, being on time, staying late, all those things are important, but really it comes down to your work performance and your satisfaction is those relationships you have with those you work around you, especially your superiors. I think they did a good job finding quality subjects. They definitely did a nice job diversifying male versus female. They had quite a little bit more females than males that participated in the study. Age range, I think, was pretty fair. However, they didn't specify about diversity, whether it comes to race, ethnicity, disability, things like that. I think they could have done a better job becoming a little more diversified. As it pertains to the type of research they did, I prefer more of a qualitative study, especially in a situation like this. Numbers are great, quantitative research is good, but I think when you're talking about relationships in the workplace, I think you should have more of a qualitative research study, something like a field study, maybe more of focus groups or in interviews, actually on site to that job. I think that's really important to do to really get the truth from people. Folks often they'll fly through a survey, especially on Facebook or online, may not be 100% truthful or may omit some information. You have a focus group or you have an interview or you're actually physically watching performance. You're really going to see the truth and you're going to see accuracy in what they're saying and compared to what they're doing as well. I did enjoy that they used multiple scales in the research to really come to their findings. So as much as I'm a big fan of the survey, I do appreciate that they used the Wheelless Solidarity Scale. They used the Lawler and Hall's Job Motivation Scale. They also used the Malik Pines Burnout Measure. So overall, I think the research was done well. I think I would just prefer it to be more of a qualitative study. And to build on that as it pertains to something in the future, I think it would be a great idea to keep this moving forward, but to try it more of in a work atmosphere. And I think they could also become beneficial because you can also often sell that information and sell your services to a company to say, hey, I want to come in and see how your relationships are working, how we can improve the atmosphere within your business to make you better. And I think that would be a really great quality study to do that could help businesses grow. Thank you.